Hello, everybody. Today we're kicking off with recharging and overcoming burnout. And first question is, outside of your creative work, what's one activity or hobby that helps refresh your energy and spark new ideas? Kate, how about you?
Hobbies outside of creative work. I guess that's where, I love going to the movies. I do that a lot. And I read a lot. And then I like to go outside. And so, yeah, probably nature things and, being around. I guess movies are kind of creative. Not for me, but for the people that make them. So, yeah, getting ideas from nature for sure is probably a biggest one.
Do you take photos and stuff, or you just like walking through nature?
I take too many pictures.
Oh, that's normal.
My Google is saying, "Excuse me, you need to delete all these. We're running out of space."
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I know. Oh, well. I need to actually do that.
Like, do you find when you're out in nature that you're taking photos for something later, like for an idea or something?
Yeah, that's true. I guess travel's kind of a hobby, right? Is that a hobby?
Yeah, an expensive one, but for sure.
Yeah, it is a very expensive one.
Yeah.
That's probably for
you
too.
Yeah, but I think just seeing new things, whether it's in nature or especially traveling, because everything's new, that you see things through a fresh lens, I think. And then when you come home, it highlights the differences in like your hometown or wherever it is. And sometimes I think, do you think that makes you see it more clearly and then gives you ideas? Or like when you go home, like, because you know how one thing highlights the other just with the differences when you're traveling?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because it's, things are so different, especially for, U.S. versus anywhere else.
Yeah.
Our buildings are so boring. It's just nice to, especially in Europe. I haven't been to Australia yet, so hopefully one day I can make it there. But
so far,
it's far.
It's so far, yeah.
What about you, Eve?
Oh, same, definitely for nature. I think that's one of, when I can, when there's the ability to go like into a forest or hiking, and then I do the same. I take the pictures and then I'll file them later under like botanicals or pine cones or whatever. And it's kind of nice to have that there, I think, because then when you are stuck or you want to draw something but you don't know what, you can go into your treasure trove of Google Photos or wherever you keep them and I don't know, just look for ideas. And I guess the other thing, something that really inspires me, is not a hobby, but it's talking to other creatives. That always leaves me completely inspired and sort of renews my energy to want to do creative things. I think that's probably the biggest one that recharges my batteries to be creative again. And then the other thing is to be creative in other ways. So writing or playing musical instruments. And I play quirky musical instruments.
What do you play?
Oh my God.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know you play any instruments.
Well,
do tell.
I learned, the first one I learned was in
Is
the
it the
US.
digger?
Didgeridoo? Yes. And I can do like the circular breathing and everything. And so I learned that strangely when I was in the US. And then living in Saudi, we were sort of limited at the point where I would just do whatever class happened to be available because it was such a small community that we lived in. So I learnt the ukulele and I learnt it right-handed. I didn't know I'd picked it up left-handed. And then she's like, if you can, try and learn it the other way because then you can use all the resources and you don't need to restring it and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, and the other thing I play is the tin whistle because it's Irish. So I play like
Nice.
jigs and things on the tin whistle. It's so dorky. I can't believe I
That's
just
so
said that.
cool.
Like,
I'd love to
it's
hear
been the
it.
most-
Yeah.
All right, next time you come over, I'll play for you,
Yay.
but
That's so cool.
not on the podcast. That's just a.
Okay.
What?
Oh,
That would be amazing.
oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, that's doing those things or writing is just helps you be creative in another way, and I think that helps recharge the drawing and the illustrating and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So, do you do any of those? Do you play the didgeridoo, Leia? To
No,
relax?
that I don't. I do not play any musical instruments yet, but I will probably learn something at some point because I love music. We do have that in common with nature. I need to escape outside when I want to recharge. And I have been very lucky to have friends with horses. And I usually escape with the horses, to the horses, with the horses. Horse riding is a big recharge activity for me. But I cannot always take pictures when I'm in the saddle because depending whether we're in a small group, that's usually more comforting for the horses and then they're more relaxed. But if I'm alone, it's not advisable to just take pictures while I'm in the saddle and let her spook on something somewhere. So then I usually do that when I'm walking or picking up things, flowers, cones that I take back with me. But my mobile phone is full of photos too. I should probably download them and try to make folders with flowers, landscapes, so that I can easily find them when I'm looking for them. But I didn't get to that
Right.
yet.
Right.
Well, yeah, because you'd use Roni for one of your models for.
She's so pretty. I cannot not.
Roni is the horse, by the way,
Frony
right?
is the
Yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes, Frony is the horse. The mare.
Yeah.
My companion, my trusted companion on these escape
She's lovely.
actions. Yes, she
We
is.
should put a picture of Roni up.
Yeah.
I have plenty. I'll look for something with Rapunzel. I call her Rapunzel sometimes because of her
Oh,
blonde
Yeah,
she's
braids.
like
especially
a Barbie horse.
yeah, especially when you did or she was in the parade and they wove all the flowers
Yeah,
and all.
very pretty.
That was so
Mm.
cute.
She's so cute, and she knows it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Of course.
Okay, question 2. Burnout is common for many artists. Have you ever experienced it and how did you overcome it? Eve, have you ever? I'm sure you have.
And I wish it wasn't. I think it's common and I wish it wasn't. And I think a lot of that comes from running your own business. I mean, I'm sure you could get it other ways, but there's just less structure, I think, to our lives. And so that makes it, it just makes it more difficult to rein in, I think. But mine started when I moved from graphic design to art, and I had 3 kids, 5 and under, and age 5 and under. And I think I mentioned before, I was making art in between stirring the pot on the stove. Like I had 2 minutes here, and I did that time audit and realized I only had 11 hours. So I guess having burnout just meant that I was exhausted all the time for me. I don't know what the official definition of burnout is, but I felt like I couldn't create art anymore, and like each piece of art would generate so much more work. So you'd create your art, then you've got to do your colorways, then you upload it to a pod site, because I believed that what do you call it, not secondary income, passive income was like the thing that all artists would do, and they would make their living doing nothing else but print on demand sites. And then so I'd upload that, and then I'd have to file it, and I don't know, there's just so many things that then you'd have to log yourself drawing it. So I would then go back I'd already drawn it, but then I'd go back and film it, and then you'd have to upload it. And then before ChatGPT, you'd have to go and make up your own everything from hashtags to posts, and then you'd have to schedule it. And it was just, I felt like every piece of artwork, it went from being fun to being, felt really heavy, and I didn't want to do art. And part of that was because I had like we'd mentioned before, a business coach who didn't understand where I was coming from. So I think that's an important thing, to make sure that whoever you get, you interview them. And I just didn't know any better. And so everything felt really muddy and I couldn't see. Whereas when I first started, I could see. It was just, oh, okay, I'll make this and I'll put it on there. But the more serious I got, the more muddy it became. And so, yeah, that was challenging. But I think it's not a great catalyst to have, but that was then a catalyst for some very serious boundaries that I mentioned before, had been like, I wouldn't do anything unless I had 15 minutes free to do. And that's sort of all the time frames I had with the kids. And then that eventually worked out to being one whole day off a week. And that's actually when I'm the most creative. So I think having that forces you to change what you're doing, but hopefully if you're going down that path, you can change it before it happens. So yeah. Well, have you, Leia? Because it's
interesting
rough.
that yes, it is. And for me, it's this topic is dependent upon my job as a civil engineer and my art. So I actually found my way back to art and started creating regularly because of a burnout from my job. It was what helped me find a sense of balance again. And it's one of the reasons why, for me, art equals inner balance and my anchor. And I've become very protective of it, especially because of this burnout, or the way I got to creating again. But that's one side. There's definitely the danger of burning out when you create, that too. And I've experienced it a couple of times. I tried in relation to bigger creative projects, where I tried to plan everything in advance, but I needed some stuff as a base to create on, to inspiration for the project I was working on. And I got it very, very late, and everything got so delayed that I didn't have the small pauses in between anymore to just find joy in what I was creating. And the deadlines were there, and it was related to an exhibition that was supposed to happen. So I tried to plan it in advance, and it didn't work the way I planned it. I made it, but I needed a while back from after we made the exhibition to recharge and find the joy again in creating, because it was too much in a very short time. And you tend to lose the joy in creating when the pressure appears to create something because of a deadline, or dependent upon other factors that you can't really influence. So I definitely try to be more careful and set boundaries in place, like you said, because I know when it starts feeling a certain way, when I find it difficulty to find pleasure and joy in the process and just enjoy what I'm creating, that it's becoming dangerous to get to that point where I burn out and I need more time to recover after it. So I'm learning from every experience.
Yeah. Is that like I suppose the way that you overcome it is because if artists listening who are fine artists like you, who are then doing exhibitions and then they have to create that work, it is like a time crunch that you almost can't do anything about that. So is your way to recover or to overcome that is to plan time afterwards, so that there is that break that you know is coming, so you like power through and then break?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And I've become better at planning and recovering after projects like this, because, like I said, I'm trying to learn from every experience, and from the stuff I see that doesn't feel right. So if I have to create in a short period of time, a lot of work, I definitely need to compensate afterwards with a couple of weeks where I don't necessarily plan to involve myself in another big project. And it's usually like this. If I say 2 or 3 weeks, I'm not going to do anything. And I just go for a horse ride with Froni or try to sleep in and get enough rest. Then I feel the need to create much, much sooner than the time frame I took for recovering afterwards. That's always the best sign. When I miss creating. I want to get back to painting or just playing or doing something.
Yeah.
How about you, Katie? Did you experience something like this?
Oh yeah, I've had that a lot.
We shouldn't laugh because it's horrible that it happens. But it's just
Yes,
yes, we've all been
But
there.
we're becoming wiser.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Maybe. Hope so.
I'm sure.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, I guess one of those things that you learn to manage and push through and keep going. And yeah.
How do you do it?
It's been, because even like the last few weeks, well, and we had Thanksgiving, and then, so that was like traveling, and I was just tired from seeing a bunch of people, especially family. So yeah, and then it was like, I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything. Yeah, but yeah, like you said, where it's like I'll start getting ideas, and I'm like, okay, I need to start working on this. That's probably when I'm like, okay, start getting the wheels going again.
Do you I think it's a good sign of recovery when you start to get those ideas, but do you find you get them when you're about to go to sleep? Or is it during the day? Like when do you get your
shower?
The shower.
I like that.
Or long drives. Long drives.
Ah, yeah. You've got time to think.
I got time to think. And it's not that I think I reflect upon something that I've been, but it's usually I'm looking for a solution to something I want to do. I don't know yet. And then I learned that I just need to let it rest. And that at some point, a couple of days later, or just pops in my head, oh yeah, I could do it like that.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
Yeah, mine doesn't usually happen when I'm about to go to sleep. I think mine is usually I'll be watching something on TV or something, and I'm like, oh, I'll see something. I'm like, okay, maybe I can do something like that.
Oh, that's so interesting.
I just realized something because we were talking about recharging. And I actually noticed this in the past few years when we started meeting, for example, in Munich with Barbara the last couple of years, when we do stuff together and we go for looking for exhibitions or stuff like that, I usually think, oh, I would like to try that when I see something or when we talk about something.
Right, yeah. I mean, and that's probably the good part of Instagram. And I can see what y'all are doing and get, ideas from that too. But then I have to remember to stop and not look anymore.
Yeah, I have to stop myself too.
Yeah.
One at a time. Now I'm doing this.
Too many dog videos.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
They make me so happy.
They're cute.
They're so cute.
Cute.
Okay. So, what are some warning signs you've noticed that suggest you're approaching burnout? Which we've kind of gone over, I guess, in a way. I think you did, Leia. You kind of.
Signs. A warning sign for me is definitely when I think, oh no, I have to continue working on this now, and I don't feel like it, but there's a deadline. Oh, that's definitely a sign. I just have to leave everything and go to Froni. That's why I usually do it. That's one of the loud signs. Another one would be when I feel tired and lacking energy. It's too much. And just like you said so accurate, Eve. Not enough time in between to just bounce back.
You're right. Yeah.
What are other signs for you, for example, Eve?
Oh, look, I think it's the same. Just, feeling exhausted, not wanting to do the work, procrastinating.
Don't feel like it.
Yeah. Though sometimes with procrastination, I'm not sure if it's just procrastination or if it could be burnout. And other times too, I think that it's when the family schedule gets too crazy, which then makes my life crazy. And then I just can't manage. It's sort of when that time takes over the drawing time and I'm trying to push back against the schedule and I really can't. I think that's when it makes it challenging too. And unfortunately, that's when I say, oh, I can't draw right now, or I can't do my work, and I just have to go with the flow. Mm-hmm. But I'm not so good at going with the flow. I like structure and I like to check things off my list. And if I did
no
something,
idea what you mean.
So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be more relaxed when your personality isn't. So yeah, I kind of find that can cause, I think, this feeling of frustration and then not being able to do it. But yeah, what about you, Katie? Do you find the same or something else?
Yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big procrastinator, and I'll just be like, ugh, why? But then I'm definitely one of those where, of course, I like my list, but then I'll procrastinate for so long, and then it's like I go, and then I'm like,
yeah.
I think we talked about this. Your energy type is you work in bursts of energy.
Bursts, yeah.
Bursts
of energy. I think
energy,
that's an important thing too with burning out, is also recognizing that you have creative flows, and in the times that perhaps you don't have creative flow, you could work on other parts of your business.
Yes.
Like catching up on those things where you have to file it and do your colorways, where it doesn't require like a creative or as much of a creative thought process or flow. You can sort of schedule your social media or do the things that I don't like to do when the creativity is not there.
Right.
Yeah.
I was listening to this telepathy tapes podcast. Have y'all heard of that one?
No. But tell me, I need to know. This sounds interesting.
The last one that I listened to, they of course interviewed Elizabeth Gilbert, the author that did the Big Magic and the Eat, Pray, Love. Right? Isn't that her name?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. And she was talking about how creativity is a flow, but it's also like she will sit and just like kind of meditate, and then she'll find that she gets like these creative ideas and juices flowing. But then she talked about too, she had this one idea for a book, and she had written everything down, and she'd like started it and she was going, and then life kind of happened, and it just kind of fizzled out. And she ended up meeting another really popular author, and they were talking, and then she said like they hugged goodbye, like, good squeeze, and she's like they went their separate ways, and she said it's kind of like she passed on her creative ideas and to her, I guess.
Yeah.
And so then this lady, they didn't talk about the book or anything. Like she had no idea. And then like a year later, she was like, I'm writing this new book and it's about this and this and this. And Elizabeth was like, I started a book just like that.
Oh my gosh.
I was like,
I
that's
remember
really
that.
cool. Yeah. I was like, wonder if that's, if we can like somehow meditate and get these ideas and like they come to me and then sometimes they'll stick and I can use it, but then other times they like go on. So I guess they were
Right.
talking about the creative, I don't remember the words that they used, something fancy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting how the world is connected and maybe telepathically we pass on our ideas to people that are ready for it, I guess.
I just like how she sort of presented creativity or ideas as their own energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that they come to the person that's going to bring it forward, and then if it doesn't work, they'll move on. I quite like that actually, because it does happen. And she did mention that someone had done something about a rainforest. Was that the one?
Yes.
Where there was something about an Amazon rainforest, and it was like years later.
Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, and I was like, whoa, that's really interesting.
That's like the when they hugged, she's like,
She
or maybe they
transferred
kissed,
the idea.
and they transferred those thoughts
idea.
and creativity to her.
Yeah. But it's interesting that you're talking about like meditating, because I'm doing this, I just started this goal setting. It's like a workshop. And before we do anything in this workshop, there's actually I can't remember what she called it. It's not like mind setting for creatives, but it was like a meditation for creatives. So I haven't actually done that yet, that step, because I wanted to be in like a calm place to do that.
Yeah.
But I guess it's even like before we do our podcast, we all take a breath just to sort of set yourself or prepare yourself for the next, was it a meeting, or before you do an illustration or something. There is definitely something to be said for changing your energy, your mindset before you start. And when we were talking about when we get sort of our creative ideas, it's when our mind's quiet, like in the shower, about to go to sleep, watching TV, or walking. So there is definitely an element of letting your brain have peace and quiet to allow that connection, or
kind of grounding and giving space.
So for me, I don't know if I call it hooky kooky. I don't know what you call it, but
that's an Australian term.
Okay. But I do think that there are certain times when something comes to you because you are the person to create it. So when I'm in that deep, or they call it flow state, which I think is more of a non-hooky kooky term, whereas I feel like I am connected to something greater than myself. I'm not religious or anything like that, but there is that connection when I'm deep in that flow state of creating something, and the time passes, it's like hours, and you felt like it was only 2 minutes. So yeah, that's my sort of hooky cookie, that there's something really special about creating. And so that's why that idea of big magic and the ideas being their own beings or energy wasn't that much of a stretch for me. Yeah.
I often think about that example, and about us being mediums for creative ideas that search for someone to bring them into the physical world. Because with certain projects, it certainly felt like that. I wondered, after everything was done, how did I know to do that? Where did that come from? I mean, how did I come up with that idea? And it's nice. It feels nice. It feels magic. That's definitely magic. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's why it resonated with me. Big magic.
Yeah.
It does feel magic.
I must read that again, actually. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Same here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have it here somewhere. I have to look for it. But How do you protect your mental and emotional well-being when it's becoming unpredictable and demanding? How do you do that? I mean, when you notice these signs, Kate?
That's a good question. Because that's been a big learning curve for sure over the past few years. Because it's always like, the burst thing. And I keep going like, yeah. But yeah, learning to like take the time for myself has probably been the biggest. And, knowing that it's okay to stop, take a break, and not kick myself for taking the break.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can be so hard on yourself, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because if any of us were to call you and say, I'm feeling really stressed in my work, I don't want to do it, we would never speak to someone else the way that we speak to ourselves about taking a break for creativity. And yeah.
We can be our harshest critics.
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
The same for you, Leia?
That's definitely something I've been trying to do, not to be so hard on myself when I don't feel like working. Like I said before, when I'm noticing I just don't feel like it. It's been a journey to learn to let it go and just mainly get outside, away from the desk right now, leave everything be, just go, okay, so maybe I'm not creating something today that was planned, but if I don't feel like it, maybe I should just look after myself first and take a break. I think that's important. And I do think it's amazing to know how you work. Like you said, Katie, you're creative in bursts. That's important. It's amazing that you know that. You have this burst of energy, you do something, then you need a break. It's great. Something to build upon, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's how I am, so I can't do too much.
Yes, but I think it's very important to accept it and embrace it.
Yeah,
your natural way of working.
Yes.
Yeah, otherwise I just beat myself up.
Talking about structure.
Put myself. Yeah.
Right, Eve?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that was one of the things for me too, is realizing that I have those seasons of work, and to just go for it and enjoy it, I think. Yeah. But for like the balance, finding the balance, I got off social media. I really did. And I tend to just go on there to see the memes that you have sent me.
Sorry,
and to look
still
at
not
fun
sorry.
stuff. Yeah, so
That's
I think
me too. I do that.
I think Instagram was probably the worst one for me because I was only, because it was a business account, I thought, oh, I have to follow only things that would be related to my business. And so when I was hopping on there, all I would see was other artists, and I loved it at first. And then I don't know why, but it had a negative impact. And it could just be because I was comparing myself, because I was looking at people who were much further ahead than I was. So I got off that. And then I went on to LinkedIn instead. And the best thing about LinkedIn is the content is just so dry that my eyeballs roll back in my head. It's just visually horrible.
True, yeah.
It's so horrible.
But
that's where my clients are. And so I don't scroll, I post, I like a couple of things and I'm out. So that was probably the biggest thing for me, was to stop that and pick up a book. So I've actually started reading actual books again, not on my phone. So
that's
yeah.
good. Yeah, I actually went through Instagram and I started unfollowing people.
Yep. That's a good one.
I was just like, no, or muting them, or I was just like, I just can't, because I was, comparing so much and feeling depressed about where I was. So Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it does, it gives you shiny object syndrome, and it
Yeah.
takes away your focus, because I might be working on one project and then I'm like, oh, that looks fun. And,
Yeah.
oh, this course, I was like a professional course taker.
Yeah,
I'm
Leia
like,
knows
and
Same.
about
now
that.
no more. Oh my gosh. Would
Okay,
you do
guilt is
that instead of
charged.
doing work?
No, she just likes to buy them and then she doesn't
Oh,
do
you
them.
don't do
Okay, you
them.
don't have to spill everything out. I stopped that.
I
I'm
can't say
working on
too
stopping that.
much. I still haven't done that one course that we bought, and then
I did the first part.
Okay, well, see, you got me beat.
That's part of the therapy I'm taking for
I've
curing
learned
that.
to
I'm
ask Leia if she
not
bought the course before I buy the course.
And you say, how was it? She's like, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Well,
Leia.
Now you're just
We
being
all
mean.
do it. We all do it. I have a course that I bought, and it was like a buy before it's released, and I bought it, and it was before Christmas. I still haven't done it, and that was 2 years ago. And I've still been meaning to do it.
well,
So
it's there waiting for you.
it
Yes,
is.
exactly.
And
Maybe
you're
I
ready.
can do it on the break. Yes. Oh my
I have to
gosh.
schedule
I
my
should
breaks.
do that. Oh my gosh. I know, it's so terrible, the money I've wasted on stuff like that.
Don't look at it like that. Among
True,
those
true.
courses you bought, you had interest in some of them. I've been taking classes I bought a while ago and just discovered, oh, this is really interesting. So I'm working on it.
There you go.
Yeah. I use courses as a form of procrastination.
Yep.
And it's such
Yeah.
I think it's a
Pretty
female
much.
I
thing to
admit.
do, the way that you're brought up, because you're like, oh, I'm not qualified to do that. I'm going to take a course to learn how to do that. And
Yeah.
then
Don't let me start
do
with
it.
that.
Yeah. So I cut myself off. I'm like, there are no more. Unless it's something that I wanted to do and I want like the workbook to go through it, like this goal setting thing. It's just to make me go through my goal setting clearly and stay on track so I don't get distracted. But there are other courses that I take because they were shiny and I took them, or I did them because that was more fun than doing what I was supposed to be doing, for sure.
Same here. I admitted everything Kate said was true.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. For you, what does a healthy balance between personal fulfillment and professional success look like in the long run? What do you think, Leia?
To have enough time in between to take my time away and just come back feeling anxious to get back to work and ready to try out something new. Think that's a good balance for me. Having those creative projects that challenge me look for a solution and feel like fulfilling when I get to find the solution and be proud of what I created, and then having the time in between to just do nothing. Say for the next weeks I'm not planning to start any commissions or do that. I just need time for myself, having the freedom to do that. Not to have such a full schedule that I feel like I'm missing the joy in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's
Good one.
perfect balance for me. How about you, Kate?
Because of course, I keep striving to hopefully one day quit my job and somehow make enough with art to support myself. But yeah, like you said, it's like finding those challenges and still having, I guess, the desire and curiosity to keep pursuing it. That's probably why I've liked that we started doing this, because it's like this is exciting and it's a definite challenge.
Yes, it is.
Especially for me. So, yeah, finding the joy. Yeah, that's a really good one. I need to remember that. Eve, what about you? You're so busy all the time with everything.
Yeah.
What's the healthy balance for you?
Mm-hmm.
I think, oh gosh, I think a healthy balance, and I realize that I know I always talk about my kids, I'm sorry, but I realize I applied to my own life what I realized with my kids, because when they're really little, we're like, did they get their vegetables and their calcium and their this and their that for the day? And the truth is they're never going to get it that day, or my kids never did anyway. But if I zoomed out and looked over the month or even over the week, they had everything was balanced out. And then for me, I felt like, because when we're in Saudi, and then we're in Europe, it's sort of like this intense living and then intense quality time. So what I realized was that if I zoomed out and looked at my life over the year, that there's balance in there. It's just not balanced every week or every month. And part of that too, which is nice, is that when we're in one place, we do without certain things, and I might do a lot of work when I'm there, but then when I come home, I have a break, and then I enjoy amazing cheese and food, and so it's like, yeah, it's like just intense moments without this nice balance in between. But if I zoom out, I'm like, okay, I'm balanced. It's just not in the smaller day-to-day where there's balance. So what I'm saying is I couldn't find balance, and I don't think I can find balance every week or every month. But by shifting the way I look at it, I realize that I am getting what I need. It's just in more compact bursts through the year instead of daily, weekly, or monthly. So, yeah, I'm sure that when we sort of retire, there will be balance when or the kids leave home or things like that. There'll be way more balance, and I'll have more freedom. But everyone's got busy lives, and you need to find it the best you can for your life, I think. Yeah. I know.
It's like we did in summer when I visited you. You said, "Oh, you just had so many visits," and then I showed up and, "Okay, what do you want to do? How about we do nothing?" It
Because
was
you just come
lovely.
off a retreat, hadn't
Yeah,
you?
it was
Yeah,
enough
we
for
had
me
all the
too.
kids
And
staying
how
with us.
about we do
Yeah,
that? That sounds lovely, and it was.
yeah, yeah. That was relaxing. I needed
Yeah.
that time. Yeah, that was so
Yeah, I
lovely.
keep hoping we'll get to have a retreat at your house one year and
I know. Well,
have yoga and all that.
we should organize it on a shoulder season where I won't be here with my kids, and we can, because then it can just be you can be fully focused on that. So yeah, we should do that for sure.
I'm in.
That'd be so
I'm
much
in.
fun. Okay, let's do it. Anyway, that wraps up this episode of Art Table Talks. Thanks for joining us on today's topic, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
That wraps up this episode of Art Table Talks. Thanks for joining us on today's topic.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and share it with a fellow artist or art enthusiast.
We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below, and if you'd like to leave us a message, you can find all our links in the show notes. We'll see you next time.